kids outside is probably one of the most important things that we do within our schedule and routine. It's so important to get them out there and running and active in that type of play that's developing the gross motor skills as well as the fine motor skills. But the challenge is finding things for them to do to keep them entertained and busy while they're doing all of this. I think I've come up with some of my favorite things and really the only things that I have in my backyard. And number one on my list is the Sandbox. I love all the skill development that happens in here. Kids love the sensorial experience, and we really just can't get enough time within the Sandbox. It's an absolute must-have in my backyard. The next thing on my list is a play structure with a slide. This could be really any type of play structure. Mine in particular has a little place to play underneath, and it also has a nice little ladder and a climbing wall. The slide itself is just the right height for the children in my age group. I'm generally having just children under the age of 4, and when the little ones can learn to climb up this little climbing wall, they're so proud of themselves, and there's just great muscle strength that's built upper body and lower body. There's a little steering wheel up top for some extra play. The slide itself is a great thing to have in the backyard. Next on my list is the Playhouse. The kids love this thing. They're going in and out of it all the time. They think of lots of fun things to do with that, and it has just like a little mini kitchen, but whether you just have a box or a little shelf that has a mud kitchen on it, anything like that activates their imagination and for some dramatic play out in the outdoors just really can't be beat with a little Playhouse. Mine is cute. It has little windows that open and close. We've got a little doorbell to ring, but this is fun for all of the ages. Just can't get enough of our little Playhouse. We really love it. Next is also just having some little barbecue play food to have that's specifically for the outside. I don't let them take the inside toys to the outside, so we just have a few little plates and some few little pieces of food so that they can pretend out picnics and barbecues and all those fun things in the backyard. And we can repurpose this and use it for so many different purposes and activities, but play food is on my list for sure. Next, this summer we've had so much fun with our water table. It's been a great way to cool off, but it's also a good just science experiment, figuring out buoyancy and sink and float. As the water trickles downwards, it's such a fun sensorial experience. It's just a great way for them to splash and get a tiny bit wet on these hot days. It's really just been a lifesaver. Mine has this upper tier. I can put a hose in there on low and it'll just keep the water flowing, or we just fill it up with a bucket and it just trickles for a few minutes and we can just have a little bit in there. But this one in particular, it has these different levels, so a lot of kids can fit around it, and it's been really fun this summer. Next on my list is the child-sized table. This has been a nice little table. It's from IKEA. It's sturdy, and it just serves so many different purposes. We like to come outside and do some outside art, and it's great because it's just a perfect height for them to stand around and do that with. We will do our little bucket with the scrubbers and soap, and they can clean up their artwork when they're done. And then also just a good height for other activities like the bubbles, and then I will also bring out my sensory bin and put it on, and just whatever I've got in there, they're able to stand around and play with. Next are the balls. The balls are wonderful for getting kids just active and moving and running. They don't even realize they're exercising when they're playing with the ball. I have just a few balls of different sizes. When the older kids are developing their coordination with kicking and the little ones are learning how to do that. And I really feel like balls are kind of like the first experience in real teamwork and sharing, because as they pass the ball back and forth, they realize they give it up for a minute, but it's such a good thing for them to learn how much more fun it is to play with friends and to share that ball back and forth and kick it. But they're really able to run back and forth and get some good exercise in. And then a good milestone is learning how to bounce the ball. Next on my list is a parachute. We've had a lot of fun with our parachute, and it also is a good sensorial experience with the texture and the colors, and then also a science learning experience as they learn how the wind will lift the parachute up and the air underneath and will push it up, and then they have a lot of fun seeing the sun shine through the different colors of the parachute. And all ages, they just get so excited when we bring the parachute out, and it's really about just anything that's going to get them excited and activate their muscles and activate some play. So next on my list are some outdoor game supplies. I really enjoy having just a few like this. I just have cones and bean bags, just not too much, but we can think of a whole bunch of games kids to play with the cones and the bean bags. So we can put them up, they're different colors, they match up with the bean bags, so we can play color games. We can do relay races, they can kick the ball in and out of the cones. But there's something about being able to set something up like this in the backyard, makes it really feel like you have a legitimate game, and the kids really have enjoyed playing with these nice little short cones and these outdoor bean bags. They're real sturdy and good, and there's a million and one different types of games that you can play with a set like this. Next thing on my list for warm weather play outside are bubbles. Bubbles are so awesome to have. They're very inexpensive and all the children love them. They're a great sensorial experience as well as a science learning thing, and they also are great for fine motor and gross motor development. You can have these different sizes, either the very small and petite one that help with the hand muscle strength and coordination, or the larger ones that they can dip in and use the full arm and shoulder strength with those. It's a great thing to break out these bubbles. The kids always have so much fun with them and they just never get tired of the bubbles. We can just do these every single day and it's always just a new and exciting thing for them. I also have a little bubble blowing machine that's fun for the kids who are too little to blow the bubbles, and all the kids love running and playing in the bubbles. So next on my list and last is sidewalk chalk. So whether you have a little piece of concrete like this or an outdoor easel that has a chalkboard on it, sidewalk chalk is awesome. Bring a little art outside, and it's a wonderful thing to break out when they're just kind of looking for something to do. All the kids really love playing with the sidewalk chalk. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing what we play with in our backyard and how we keep the kids active and entertained while they play outside. Make sure to subscribe because there's a lot more like this.